I know, bro.
Philly's been stripped and sold for parts.
Dude.
Well, let's do the Philly conversation.
Do it.
Let's do it right now. So that's our next mic. The Philadelphia Football Eagles. So on one hand, they just lost to retirement the heartbeats of that team, right? Jason Kelce, Fletcher Cox, both retiring right off into the sunset. Bunch of changes in the coaching staff, but they do wind up going out and making an aggressive play to get Saquon Barkley in. So 3 years, as of our recording here, these are the moves. 3 years, about $38 million for Saquon Barkley.
Get that bag, my dude. Good for you. By the way, how about can we talk about Tiki Barber?
Dude.
Who the fuck is Tiki Barber talking to? How dare you be like, I hate you. You're dead to me. And Saquon was like, don't smile at my face then, Brody. You know what that means. You know what those hands are going up quick when they see each other. Hey, don't ever hate on somebody, especially a running back getting paid in free agency. Like the minute they get paid, another running back comes in and chops them down.
After last year, I mean, especially after last year with like what he did for the Giants, where he was like,
fine Tiki right now. Hit him with the fine. Right now. Sensitive.
Like,
and I'm about to hit him with Ultra. I'm not kidding. You know he was sensitive as shit when he saw that. Like, we never got paid that. Rondé. We never got that.
Rondé.
Yeah, you're a pussy, Tiki. You heard me.
Wow,
about Saquon
aggressive.
like that. No, it's not aggressive. You told me you're dead to me.
Well,
What?
Tiki. So what's Tiki saying? He stayed in New York his whole career. He was a Giants
Who cares
lifer,
what
right?
you
Is that what
said?
he's?
You're not Saquon. Leave him alone. Dude made
Also-
$40 million. Good for
But
you.
the Giants also haven't given Saquon, right? Like
No.
they didn't
Anything.
offer him a contract, or at least not one that
Rude.
They
that
probably
beats
offered
the
like
market.
1 year.
We'll give you
11.
$9 million, and then this team comes along like 3 years, 40. He's like, what? What?
in division.
I love it. Good for you, Saquon. I'm super excited. And Landon Dickerson. I didn't realize that until Jay, you sent that to me. Just a low-key signing that I've ever seen. A little, what is it, 4 year, $90 million for my guard?
84 max value of 87.
Dude, how about
50.
guards getting like
Dude.
$20 million a year now?
I text you guys too when we were
know
talking
why.
about Dotson. We were talking about Dotson getting paid. I think he ended up getting 16 a year.
Yeah.
And Mackey, you were like, so at top notch is going to be like 18, 19. I was like, I think it's going to be closer to 20.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I was very
Boone
surprised.
was like, you got to be a dude. And then there was 3 guards yesterday that made my allergies are murdering my
this is
life.
the Patriots guard. He made a low key like $21 million a year too.
Yeah.
What's his name? Hold on.
Where'd he go? He went out.
He stayed with the Patriots.
He went to the
No, he
Patriots.
stayed with the
right?
Patriots. Dude, now that Bill's
also-
gone, they're spending like they don't even know they had
Yeah.
money. They're like,
They're
wait a
like,
minute,
we
we
have
had all
money.
this money? Are you serious?
Also,
what is it?
so Kevin Dotson got 16. Landon Dickerson got 20, 21. Robert Hunt, Dolphins guard, got $20 million per.
Dude, good for you, big dog.
Wow,
Going
man.
to the Panthers, but hey, just letting you know, that's a lot of responsibility.
Let's get back to we'll do fat guys in trenches get paid. Let's stick on Eagles here for a minute because we were down a path. So just Eagles in and out. So Saquon in, Bryce Huff, kind of from the Jets, a specialty pass rusher. He's not.
Yep.
If you run the ball, he's going to kind of just let it go by. But like as a third down pass rusher,
that's their entire defense.
Yeah.
Right. Their entire defense is pin ears back, go.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's what they've been forever. That's made them successful. They've always had dudes that just go that way. Right. Hey, as soon as the ball's hiked, that way.
Right.
And he's very good at that. Huff is very good at just penetrating and dipping the edge.
DeAndre Swift gone, but you replace him obviously with Saquon Barkley, so that's an upgrade. They also signed linebacker Zach Bond, but just in general, the way the Eagles finish the season in a tailspin, they lose 2 of the heartbeat players of that team. What do you think is in store for them now? Is Saquon Barkley, Bryce Huff, is that enough to, and some coaching changes to push this thing back to where it was a couple years ago?
Absolutely.
I don't even think it's about. I don't think it's even about pushing it back to where it was. About much as reshaping what the future, what the culture actually is.
What does it look like here?
Right. I think when you lose games, what was it? They lost 6 out of the last 7 or something like that. Like when you lose like that, you can't just be like, "Hey, we got to get back to what was working." It's got to be a total rebuild, like from a culture standpoint. And that's why, I mean, as much as it's going to hurt losing Kelce and losing Fletcher Cox and losing some of these like bigger pieces, it's going to allow for new leadership. It's going to allow for youth to step up. It's going to allow for someone else to pull in a different direction and try something different. Right. The worst thing the Eagles can do is go back into this beginning part of the year being like, we just got to get back to what we do. Right. Just get back to what we are. And no. That obviously did not work when things went off the rails. Yeah. Start over. Right. And this allows for some of that stuff too. And, the one signing that kind of went under the radar is Brandon Graham coming back to that team on a 1-year team friendly. Like, that's going to be a little bit more of that veteran leadership in a young D-line room. Right, you're talking about guys like Jalen Carter and Davis and Nolan Smith, like young players. And so you bring in Huff and you bring in Brandon Graham to kind of be the coaches on the field at times. Like, that's going to pay dividends. But I'm excited to see what the new era of leadership looks like in Philadelphia.
I'm excited to see what the new offense is going to look like. I mean, it's going to roll through Saquon, obviously, and it's going to be a huge lift.
You don't pay a running back $40 million without being like, you are the marquee. Like, I mean, and then AJ Brown and Smith, just be ready for the go balls, because those safeties are going to caught their eyes in the backfield, and away we go.
I mean, dude, we've seen them do their RPOs how many times? Imagine what it's going to look like having Goddard down the field, Devontae Smith, AJ Brown. I mean, dude, it's going to be so fun to watch. And now they're actually going to have somebody back there. Don't get me wrong, Swift was amazing, and I can't wait to see him in Chicago. Like, I think that dude is unreal. But Saquon back there is just a whole nother level of how can we get you now? And they have a good offensive line. Yeah, they're losing Kelsey. And I think that after playing a long time in the NFL, you're like, you know what? I'm not as sad to see guys retire, because you're excited to see the next guy stand up. Because you're like, dude, these guys have been grinding. Like, I don't worry as much as everybody else does. Like, oh my God, a veteran center retired. It's like, no, that guy's been behind him for a couple of years.
I mean, Travis Kelce straight up, when they picked Cam Jurgens out of Nebraska,
he told him
2 years ago, he straight up was like, this is my replacement.
Yeah.
Right. And Cam is extremely athletic. I mean, he ran a sub 540
ridiculous
at the combine. Dude's a freak show athlete, like very similar play styles. So, I mean, when you get to learn under Kelce for 2 years and also play some guard last year, he's going to step right in there, no problem.
The other thing too is that division is wide open still. So the Commanders, full reset, ton of resources. They're adding. Dan Quinn stole a couple Cowboys, by the way.
Yep.
The Cowboys are sitting here with a bloated quarterback contract, some weird vibes through the media the last couple months with players calling out Dak and organization. They just lost their starting center. And also, they lost Dorrance Armstrong, who now
Micah Parsons went to Washington.
Yeah, I know. Dorrance Armstrong, I think, also went to Washington.
Yep, he did.
Yep. 3-year deal for $45.
So could the Cowboys be coming down a notch? I mean, the Giants. We'll get to the Giants too. Interesting decisions they have in front of them, but that division is not solidified to me. So like in other divisions, I would say, boy, good luck. If you're the Eagles climbing back on top, but I don't see any reason why the Eagles couldn't go win 10 games and 11 games, and maybe that be enough in the end.
They're still, their roster is way too talented to. I mean, we were sitting at week 12 last year, being like, they're gonna fight the Niners, and if whoever wins that game is gonna win the Super Bowl. But like, that's where they were at last year, and they lost some pieces, but they're way too talented to not be in the hunt immediately.